Are there Star Wars collectors? That's how I start my videos. How you going? I don't know if you can hear me yet and how many people I've got in, but welcome all the same. If anyone could just let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay. Just let me know. Are we on? Yeah, I can see people in there now. Great. Right, so basically I thought I'd just do a live stream really about today's Hasbro Pulse live stream. I was going to make a video about it, but I just didn't think there was too much for me to say sort of voiceover wise. So I wanted to do a live stream really to get your thoughts on it. I do have the videos to go through that we can play on the screen so we can see some stuff and we can have a chat about it in the comments to see what everyone's thoughts are on it. I'd be interested to know everyone's thoughts. Hit the like button if you're here, just to help that video get along. And yeah, let's quickly just play this one first while we're here. So I take it everybody was a little bit let down with the whole Haslab thing. I think people may have thought that they were going to get some more figures revealed or whatever, but you know, it's pretty obvious. I thought that it was going to be pretty much about the Haslab project. But can you see there? Look at that. Is that a little LED there? I've got a feeling we might be getting some lights in the engines there with all those cool red bits at the back there. But yeah, let me know your thoughts there. Do you think we're going to be getting some lights? I think we might. Now this is the video that I wanted to play because obviously it's this bit right here, isn't it? It's the it's those little racks there for the carbonite blocks, which are eluding us at the moment. But Patrick did kind of say, didn't he, that basically some interesting things. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said that some interesting things might be happening around those. And, you know, can we really expect them to go the whole hog and actually give us figures in their bubbles with a carbonite block? So that guy, the blue guy from the first episode, what's he called, Mithril or something like that? Could you imagine that we would get that with a carbonite block and that's how they come? Interesting. Let me just stop sharing that for the moment. So let me know your thoughts. Let's welcome some people in the chat. So we have Chris, Toys of the Jedi. Anthony Robinson. Hi there, my friend. Daniel Chart. Josh B. Kiss Ass Zombie. Anthony Davis. How you doing, my friend? Owen Brown. Hi, mate. Red Leader 501. Matt C, how you doing, mate? I know you did ask me earlier on if I was going to do a live stream, and I said probably not. But it just sort of came about that I'm going to do it in the end because, as I say, I just couldn't bring myself to do a video. There just wasn't enough content for me to do a video, so I thought it'd be a lot easier and better for me to talk with you guys to let me know. You know, I want to hear what your thoughts are really, rather than me sort of talking over the videos. C-Moles, how you doing, my friend? Yep, family's doing well, mate. Thank you very much. Greedo's Lab, good to see you here, mate. Cranky Rankle, hi Tim. What do you think the next unlock might be for the Razor Crest? Well, I don't know. I mean, we're definitely getting one, aren't we? And that's one of the things that sort of annoyed me a little bit. They didn't sort of predict or think that it was going to hit 10,000. I mean, this is the Razor Crest, man. It's the Vintage Collection, and part of me thinks that they're sort of underestimating how many 3.75-inch collectors are out there. I thought we made that pretty known with the whole campaign. We had like, what, 8,500 people sign that petition for more Vintage Collection. So that's a pretty good idea, isn't it? And they said that they weren't prepared to hit 2,000 that quickly. So to not have something in the pipeline, that's a bit distressing for me. But he did say that they've been working hard on something. What do I think it will be? I hope it might be 1 or 2 carbonite blocks to go with it, but at the same time, I really do think that they should have come with it. You've got the racks and everything. It really should have come with it. But what would I really like? I would probably like another carded figure. I think you know, the yak face that we've got and the Yoda that we're getting, or the child, you know, the fact they're on exclusive cards to the set, it makes it getting, you know, buying the Razor Crest, buying into the whole crowdfunding thing that much sweeter if you know you're getting something that essentially is going to be reasonably rare for years to come or whatever. Collectible Duo. This looks like it's going to be a lot better than the Slave. Mate, it's going to be a lot better than the Slave one. This is a Haslab project at the end of the day. I've said it, you know, I think I said it to somebody on Instagram today. I really don't believe that this was ever planned for a, you know, a regular release. This thing is too highly detailed to be a regular release. It really needs the Haslab sort of thing. Obviously, you know, in future they could release maybe a dumbed down version of the Razor Crest and put that out to, you know, your Targets and whatever, and on the store shelves, fine. But this particular one, it's too detailed and too intricate for a regular release. Chris, I was expecting tier 3 to be revealed. Yeah, me too. And as I say, I was really disappointed that they just did not anticipate, you know, how popular this thing was going to be. It's that was bewildering, to be honest. Robbie Hobby, lighting effects, sound effects. So I'm not sure about sound. I haven't read anything in the press release about the fact that it will have lights and sounds, but in that video I just played just there was a little LED there. So are we going to get lights? I don't think they've actually mentioned it. If anyone definitely knows if they are, then let me know in the comments. Lewis Bonella, how you doing, my friend? Did anyone order the Art Trooper 3-pack? I think a lot of people are still waiting for theirs from Hasbro Pulse, I do believe. A bit slow to get those out. The Trap 1983 wants some blocks. 100% we do. I think it's great. I was able to order 2. I heard the next one is the Child with the Pram. So that is the one that we've hit. That's the 10,000 mark. And there was some really interesting things that he mentioned about that child. The fact that the sculpt is going to be exclusive to the Razor Crest. The Pram is going to be VAT metalized, and it's going to be exclusive to this card. It sounds to me that the card back's going to be exclusive. So when he mentioned that, you know, the child will be available in other ways, so we're going to get him in the Vintage Collection, aren't we? Whether it's going to be in a build-up pack with the Mandalorian or whatever, we're going to get him, but he won't be the same as that one, you know. This one's going to be a bit different, which is awesome. Let's see, tier 3 will be the carbonite blocks. Yeah, I think it could be. But then again, that's for it to be that's something that's, you know, they've said they've had to like rack their brains and come up with a third tier. So that would seem completely obvious to me that it would be the carbonite blocks at some stage. So maybe they have got plans for the blocks in other ways, you know, with figures or in like a pack or something. I don't know. Yeah, carbonite blocks are the most probable. But then, yeah, as I just said, though, you know, do they really need to sort of sit down and, like he said, sit down and actually think, what could this third tier be? Oh, it's the carbonite blocks. I don't know. Doesn't really make much sense, that. Delvian C, Patreon supporter. How you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for always joining in. Appreciate it. Cremster Crates. Hello. Keith UK. Hi, Tim. Thanks for the vid. Got a bit more excited today after Hasbro vid, but couldn't believe they had no tier 3 ready when whole point maybe trying to gain new sales. Yeah, absolutely. And for him to say that they didn't anticipate, you know, and to be honest, when it got backed after 24 hours, they should have been thinking about tier 3 and tier 4 then, you know, if not before it was actually, the whole thing was arranged, you know. Bruno Fett, will it be more unlocks for the Razor Crest? Yeah, we're getting one more. He said a minimum of one more. So I'm hoping that it'll be 12,000. I can't, you know, it's going quite slowly now. I can't, you know, if it's 15,000, I think that might be a bit unreachable. So I think they should do 12,000 and then the fourth one at 15,000 maybe. Gerard Coyle, how you doing, my friend? Hi, Dave. Good to see you in here, mate. Thank you very much. The Mithril card back would be great. Yeah, 100%. And he's in season 2 as well. They obviously, you know, they unfreeze him or whatever because he's in season 2. So he's going to be maybe a bigger character. So it makes sense, wouldn't it, to give us that figure and the Carbonite block from season 1. Hi, Gary Dickens. Good to see you, mate. Cranky Rancor, I'm here from Australia. Cheers, mate. Hi, Cranky Rancor. Only One Kenobi. Hi, mate. How you doing? Looking forward to seeing the final product and new Beskar Mando. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. So they did show the figure as well. So they showed the soft goods cape and have him sat down. Obviously, he wasn't painted or anything, but he looks decent. And obviously, he's going to be exclusive to the Haslab Razor Crest because he does have the soft goods cape. So the trap, this thing has so many pieces and detail underneath. It's incredible. It really does. They have gone down to town on it. It can't be denied. It is very, very good. Let's have a look. The key to me in ordering this is the paint job for the exterior. It's got to be a shiny vac metal with a dirty weathered wash. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, didn't we, Daniel? It's the fact that they're doing the little pram in vac metal. That's great signs for the future, isn't it? That they haven't abandoned vac metalizing things. You know, hopefully we'll get a new C3PO and Death Star droid and things like that in vac metal. That'd be awesome. A whole ship in vac metal, that's going to be one seriously, you know, you walk into a room, it's going to be blinding, isn't it? But as you say, it's, and I think I said to you, you know, if it's going to be vac metal, I want it completely weathered and dirty. You know, the Razor Crest is not supposed to look like a brand new ship that's just come out of the shipyard. You know, it's supposed to have been through the mire. It's all battered. The Jawas have had their hands on it, and yeah, it just needs to look a bit weathered, doesn't it? So essentially, a lot of that, if it was vac metalized, a lot of it would be covered with filth, really. It will, trust me, they won't let us down. Hopefully, mate. 90 Days in Star Wars guy, I love the Mando. It comes with a cloth cape. Awesome. Yeah. I think Baby Yoda will sell on eBay for 150, 200. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, at least this time it is available to everyone across the world, you know, pretty much. You've got Zavi in the UK and a lot of Europe being able to do that. It's available to people in Australia. They alluded to that on the live stream, didn't they? And the numbers are counted on the main thing, and it's pushing that up. So I think a lot of what causes the barge to be so expensive is because, you know, only the people in the US and a handful of people around the rest of the world got it. So many people in the UK want it, but we're unable to get it, unfortunately. So that just drives the price up of the secondary market. Hopefully it won't be the case with the Razor Crest. Hopefully everyone pretty much is able to back it. I think the blocks will come carded. It's easy money maker for Hasbro, yeah. But if they come with a figure, I think that's awesome. I'd love that. Like the figure of the person that's carbonized, obviously, you know, that would be sweet. But yeah, I don't know. Did anyone else notice that LED, the little red LED? Because I did notice that the second time I watched the video, I was like, "Ooh, hello! We got some, maybe some electronics on it here, which is good." Hi, Jimmy. How you doing? I'm a little bit concerned that they will perceive the sail barge as being not as successful as Razor Crest. I hope they don't shy away from investing in the original trilogy for Haslab. Yeah, and this is the thing about Haslab, is that a lot of people perceive Haslab to be always having to be this giant thing. I remember when the barge first came out and they started doing Haslab, they said that Haslab doesn't necessarily, well, first of all, they didn't say it necessarily had to be Star Wars, which we've seen. And they also said it doesn't necessarily have to be something huge. It just could be something that they don't want to put out in the normal line that's a bit more specialized, and they want people to back it that way. So it could be something a lot smaller, you know, you never know, or a lot cheaper. It doesn't have to be $500 and 4 foot long. It just doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, original trilogy. I mean, I'm all for original trilogy and the Mandalorian and Clone Wars. I would like to see some lighting in the big reactors. I think that's what they're for, mate. I think that's what they're for. Hey, boss, what do you think of the final backer number will be? Oh, final number. That's a difficult one. I think we'll do well if we hit 15,000. I think that'll be a sweet number. The Sentinel, I think, is there more Marvel fans around the world? I don't know, but I don't know. 15,000 would be a good number. I think if we could hit that, that'd be decent. Drew Mac, you missed a Hasbro Pulse live stream, which just showed you more of the Mandalorian ship, the Razor Crest, and they had like an actual model of it. And the size of it, if you look at the size of the guy's hands and the figure, this thing is huge. When he is gripping one of the engines, you know, you can't get his hand around the engine. It's big. This thing is huge. Collectible Duo, what about his wee buddy who helps him throughout the series? Queel. Yeah, well, he'll come on a single card, 100%. And we need a blurg as well. So we need a blurg, in my opinion, in something like this. So, you know, give us a blurg in there with Queel. That would be awesome. And Queel would have to come on a card back as well inside that box. That'd be cool. Just ordering the Revan for £40. That's not a bad price. I'm sorry, I've got to jump ahead on some questions or comments because there's just so many. So I do apologize if I don't see it. Mystery Mando, you didn't have to do that, my friend. Thank you very much, mate. Make sure to catch the stream, mate. Could the third tier be light up thruster engines as plastic look red? And if it lit up, must turn an orange yellow like the series. Yeah, well, obviously what we've only seen in that model is just a prototype at the moment, but it did have LEDs, didn't it? And I don't know, you know, maybe in the next video where they reveal a bit more of it, they'll say, look at this, it has the engine lights, which would be fantastic. But I appreciate the super chat, mate. That's too much. We'll be talking about that later. We need a heavy infantry Mando from episode 3 so he can fly next to the crest. We do indeed. And Patrick said, didn't he, if it gets backed, then we'll get all the figures that have interacted with the crest. So they've done for the Black Series. There's no reason why we can't get him for the Vintage Collection. I think he will be a given, very popular character. Any chance carbonite blocks will be carded, Tim? I hope so, mate, with figures. I hope so, yeah. Keith UK, in the original vid, they talked about a cargo net for the hold. It's even in writing on Pulse. No mention today. Did I miss it? I think things like that will be later on when they show more detail of it being painted and the little accessories and stuff. You did see today the inside of the cargo bay with some little hanging like satchels and stuff, which actually do remove. So it'll be that kind of thing. I think the netting is something that they'll add right at the last minute, you know. I don't, but yeah, that is in the press release and it was on the video. You're right. At least we can find aftermarket carbonite blocks, so we don't need them. But I'd love to see carded blocks. Yeah, we need carded blocks with the characters. Bradley Harvey, how you doing, mate? Good to see you here. I can see the carbon blocks coming with a figure. Yeah, that's what I think. Stretch at 12,000, 15,000. That's what I think. I think if they do it over 12,000 for the next one, I think they're pushing it a little bit because, you know, for example, if they said, right, if you hit 15,000, then you get X, and then if you hit 20,000, you get this. I think 20,000 is a bit too much for a stretch. They need to do 12,000 and then 15,000. I think they're good numbers. I think they'll be. I mean, Hasbro won't be moaning if they hit 15,000 sales of the Razor Crest. Believe me, they'll be loving that. SM, hi Tim, mate. Off topic. How about the new Stormtrooper in yellow, which is like the Incinerator Trooper, the Mortar Trooper? Yeah, I saw him. So he was kind of announced just by some cardboard cutout, wasn't it? It's in some stores. You know, there's no news of a figure or there's any scenes, footage of him in the actual show. But yeah, he's supposed to be called the Mortar Trooper and is essentially an orangey yellow incinerator trooper. So it's classic Star Wars, isn't it? Here's your character. Let's paint him a different color, and we'll be able to sell you loads of toys down the line. You know, the clones did it, and these stormtroopers or incinerator troopers are doing it. But I'm all for it. That mold's a great mold that they're using for the incinerator trooper. So yeah, paint it a different color and stick it on a decent card back, and it'll go it'll go nicely in the collection, I'm sure. Okay. Five's is part of way 29 out in the next week. Yep, he is indeed. Star Wars Clone Wars line. I can't see it happening anytime soon. I think at the end of the day, they'll just use the Black Series and the Vintage Collection to get the Clone Wars characters out. I don't think there'll be a whole line for them. The show's finished now, isn't it? There might be a Bad Batch line. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Greetings from Argentina. Hi there, mate. EMA. Good to see you. James Andrews, in all honesty, what do you think the next tiers will be? I don't think carbonite blocks are good enough. Love your work, like always. It could be after the first one, which was like the thing that should have been included anyway. I mean, he said today, didn't he? He said that the escape pod would have just been molded in, so you would have seen it, but it wouldn't have been detachable and whatever. You know, for me, that was a bit of a poor tier. That shouldn't really have been a tier. That should have just been included. So it could be anything, you know. They could just surprise you and just say, you know, here's a dropout gun on the bottom or something, and that's the next thing. You'd be like, what? But ultimately, what do I want? I'd love another figure, you know, another carded figure. Would they do that because you've already got the child? Don't know. Carbonite blocks, again, as we've said, I don't know. I think they've got plans for those carbonite blocks, and if they just dump them in a tier, it'll just seem a bit weird to me now, I think. Star Wars Radio says, I emailed Hasbro on the 30th of September about carbonite blocks. They said carbonite blocks are not included in the current offering, and we're unable to comment on what additional components may be added. Yeah. Classic line, isn't it? Stormtroopers are just going to go yellow anyway. Yeah. Thought the escape pod was excellent. Also interesting what designer wanted to do with the pod, i.e. get it included. Yeah. And that's interesting because it's something from season 2, isn't it? So it's not something that we've seen yet. At least I can't remember the escape pod being in season 1. Can you? So that'll be interesting. Kremster Crates. Why does the Black Series get new characters first? It doesn't always. That's not really, you know. I'll give you an example. The Vintage Collection was the first to get the Sith Jet Trooper. Yeah. So Black Series had the normal Jet Trooper, the white one, which the Vintage Collection still hasn't seen, and the Vintage Collection got the Sith one. Now the Black Series did end up getting the red one, the Sith one, and we didn't, and the Vintage Collection didn't get the white one, which is a bit annoying. But it doesn't always happen that way. They don't always line up. I think the Black Series, you'll always get your main characters in the Black Series every time. Whereas the Vintage Collection, they can give you, you know, so for example, we've got a Remnant Stormtrooper. The Black Series has not got a Remnant Stormtrooper. So it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that always, you know. Do I think the Solo Carbonite will fit in the ship? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I hope they make them all the same size. And whether they'll have little clips on them, I'm not really too sure how it's going to grip it, you know. We'll have to wait and see. What about a Zero Fig as next tier, as he did fly the crest? Yes, he's the droid, right, from the prison episode. Yeah, I'd love that figure in the, but then yeah, but I'd want him on a card back, you know. So again, it's like, can you make a figure if they make a figure for the crest, then they've got to release him in the normal line like they did with Yak Face, but just, you know, they called him Salt Murray in the normal Vintage Collection, but in the barge they called him Yak Face, which is obviously the Kenner name for him. So they can't make something too exclusive where that's the only place that you can get that figure. It's just not right if they do that. Exclusive card back, absolutely. What if the crest is destroyed in episode 1 this month? Yeah, there is rumors that he like crash lands or whatever, isn't it? I don't know. I think it's too iconic. They can't blow it up, can they? Next year is the gun turret the ship already has. Yeah. Hope those landing gears are strong enough. Ship looks heavy. Yeah, absolutely. Think that there will be any Jedi Fallen Order figures coming to the vintage collection? Yeah, at least Cal Kestis, is it? I think we need at least him, don't we? But again, it's like they've almost missed the boat on that now, haven't they? They've got too many slots to fill with other things. So everyone wants Clone Wars, everyone wants Mandalorian. They're always going to do your original trilogy figures. You know, they even said in a couple of live streams ago that they're going to be doing some of the 96 next year, the original Kenneth Ferguson of the 96. So they've got a lot of slots to fill. So how do they sort of go? Here's Cal Kestis. How many people actually want Cal Kestis? I mean, I'd want him, but how many people actually do? You know. Nathan Duke says, I really miss the 5POA figures. I know they weren't for everyone, but they really filled the missing holes that the vintage collection is missing. Yeah. I mean, you know, ultimately, I'd want just going back to sort of like the legacy collection where you just get loads of super articulated figures. There was no need for 5POA then. They went backwards when they brought out the Rebels lines, I think it was, and then the Force Awakens lines. They went backwards. That's the problem. In 2009, I don't think there was 5POA, was there? Or at least I can't remember there was. It was just your high articulated figures for the same price. There is a vintage collection tax, though. You know, the vintage collection is, you know, it's the card back, it's the nostalgia. They get you on that. So, as a strategic move, carbonite blocks will not be included. They will be available sold separately. Assured sales. Yeah. The thin tier will be focused on the ship itself. I like that they're re-releasing the Mando figures nearer the time of release. All have sold really well. Yeah, they did say that, didn't they? They said they're going to be re-releasing those. A lot of people weren't able to get those, especially in the States. I think we're okay over here. And I think I've seen a few people on Instagram saying, why don't you just release them now? Well, I think, you know, strike when it's hot. When the thing comes out, everyone's going to rush to get them, aren't they? If we get Grief Karga, do you think the figure will be based on season 1? Yeah, he seems to have gone grey over however long. You know, we don't know what's the time difference between the two shows, but he's suddenly got a grey beard, hasn't he? I bet we can pop the head off and use the cape on the other Mando figures. Cheers for the tap, Tim. Got to go do breakfast for my boy. Have a good one, Cranky. Do you prefer vintage or black series? Vintage collection all the way for me. I do dip into the black series. I do have a couple. This is my most recent one. The Ahsoka's Clone Troopers, so the 332nd. I'm a sucker for these new boxes. I like the way they've done that. So I probably won't open these, but vintage collection, I keep them on the, as you can see on the cards, but I also open them as well. So I tend to buy 2 of each. But you know, if I had a choice, it'd have to be the vintage collection every single time. The Rick Jewell gang. Greetings from Mexico. Love your channel. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate that, mate. There will always be too many slots to fill in the vintage collection. Absolutely. There's haven't, you know, I've seen a few people complaining about how many black series, you know, they want Hasbro to calm down with the amount of black series that are coming out. You know, people just can't keep up with the amount of pre-orders and things like that. And I'm the same, you know, but I think there's a balance, and I don't think we're getting enough in the vintage collection. Maybe 10 more figures a year would probably be nice. Less repacks, more new figures. But yeah, there's always slots. When do you think we'll get to see images of the vintage collection, Moff Gideon, Grief Karga, Beskar anytime. I think it'll be the Mando Mondays though, won't it? I think they'll do 1 or 2 figures a week on the Mando Mondays. That's what they'll do. Danny Gunia, greetings from Germany. Great show. Thank you. What's the ship over your left shoulder at the rear of the barge? Looks like the Lancaster bomber from this angle. My left shoulder. That's the skiff. It's the desert skiff. And up there, I've got the Kenneth Snowspeeder and the Falcon. Do you like the Star Wars Kenner vintage figures? Yes, I do. That's my collection there. And I've got the, if I just get this comment out of the way, I've got the first 12 here. I know the light's shining on it, but yeah, I love them. I grew up with them. It has to be nailed on that we get a 3.75-inch off-world Jawas. Now it looks so great with all those panels off. Can't wait to see some people's dioramas of that scene. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the press release that came out with the Razor Crest when they first announced the Haslab Razor Crest, it did actually mention that scene, and it said, you know, the removable parts allow you to recreate that scene, which is awesome. A lot of thought has gone into this, and so it should be as well. You know, the price of it, the exclusivity of it, the fact that it's the Razor Crest. It's like, you know, it's like the new Falcon, isn't it? It's like the flagship ship of Star Wars at the moment. So, you know, they should be putting everything into it. It shouldn't be a half-hearted effort, you know. Chaz Guru, if Hasbro was smart, they would make the Mando a carded exclusive too. Imagine how many people would buy extras just for the card. Yeah, it would annoy a few people as well. But you know, if you want the Razor Crest and you want the carded exclusive figures, like you want, you know, the Yak Face, then you've got to back it. Simple as that, isn't it? I do agree with you, Bossk. I feel like they did miss the boat, but maybe when Jedi Fallen Order 2 we'll see those figures come. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think it's just not in people's minds anymore, especially with Squadrons out now. Will we see any figures from Squadrons? I don't know. And also, you've got the Black Series gaming greats, and if they weren't working with GameStop, then you wouldn't see those figures. So those gaming greats figures are only coming out because they've got that exclusive deal with GameStop. If that deal wasn't there, then that line wouldn't, or that sub line wouldn't happen. The first alien, yeah. Is it a Mithril? Is that his race or is that his name? Somebody let me know in the comments. Mithril, I think it is. But if Hasbro kept the carbon blocks separate, it's another likely 12,000 extra sales guaranteed. Yeah. Now that Patrick said figured out how to vac metalize the carded child pram, do you think we'll start getting vac metalized droids? Yeah, I said that just earlier in the stream when I mentioned that pram. It does, you know, Death Star droid. Come on, we need him, don't we, on a Star Wars card? And a Death Star droid, it can't be that one from the 3-pack where he's just all dull metal. You need that bright silver one, don't you? I can see the carbonite blocks come out in a 3 or 4-pack. Yeah, I think they've definitely got a plan for them, haven't they? Definitely got a plan. Lovely detail on the Black Series. You're right, the new packaging is lovely, yeah. But at the same time, I think the Vintage Collection has great detail as well. You know, I think they've come a long way. When do you think we'll see more regular release Vintage Collection vehicles? I think they do like 2 a year, don't they? So we'll probably have 2 next year. My fear is that they'll repack them because, you know, you might see the TIE Interceptor or something, or the Snow Speeder. Excuse me. Because there's no show, is there? You've got to wait. Well, you've got the Mandalorian 2. There might be something in series 2 of the Mandalorian, like a speeder or something. Speeder bike. There you go. Speeder bike with the white remnant scout. I can see them doing that. I think they might be doing that for the Black Series. So I hope they do that for the Vintage Collection. We do need 3PO, 100%. Will we get a collector's coin with Baby Yoda? I don't think so, because the card has been shown already and it hasn't. I think the pram is essentially the extra piece in that thing. Vac metalized pram exclusive to that set. So almost a room tour. Mate, my room's so messy. It's just crazy. Once I sort it out, I've got a few more things to put up on the wall, and then I'll do it, I promise. But yeah, I've been promising it for ages, haven't I? God. Thing is, that video will probably do really well. It's probably in my interest to do a video like that. I just haven't got the time, really, sometimes. I think every new wave of the Vintage Collection should only include one repack figure with a face scan. The others should be new. I'm with you there, brother. 100% on that. Few more figs. Matt Booker, how you doing, mate? Fantha Tracks. I think if that's the same Matt Booker from Fantha Tracks, I think it is, yeah. How you doing, my friend? With the success of the Razor Crest, size and price point, a smart move would be the Ghost. Yeah. But then, I mean, I like Rebels, but how many people actually like Rebels? I mean, I think a lot of people hate Rebels. You know, because a lot of people compare it to the Clone Wars, which you really shouldn't do, just because of the fact that it's an animated Star Wars TV show. But a lot of people don't like Ezra, do they? I think he looks like Space Aladdin and things like that. But as far as, you know, it's right next to the original trilogy, isn't it? Some of the ships and some of the graphics in that program are amazing, with like the Star Destroyers and some of the battles and stuff. And I love the Ghost. I think it'd be awesome, but I'm not sure. I have my dad's and uncle's figures, so I have the original Emperor, and I have a vintage Bossk. Nice. I've got a few vintage Bosks. He's up there in my Bossk shelf. I wish I did more Knights of the Old Republic, maybe another Shea Vizsla. Yeah, there's definitely a market for that. Which Haslab playset would you like in 3.75 inch scale? A playset. Cantina. It's got to be, isn't it? Cantina. Mos Eisley. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with some comments. They're coming in thick and fast. I don't even like Rebels, so I'd love the Ghost and Vintage Collection. Such a great looking ship. It is, yeah, it is. But as you just said, you don't like Rebels. You know, a lot of people don't like Rebels. So, you know, would there be enough interest for that ship versus, I don't know, a speeder bike or something? Which is your favorite Star Wars game? Mine is Knights of the Old Republic. Probably Rogue Squadron, one of those. I used to love those. I can't remember if it was on the N64 or the GameCube, or maybe one was on one and one was on the other. I think maybe there's three, I think. But they were great games, the Rogue Squadron games. Let's see if I can get another one of these videos going. Yes. Just look at the size of it. It does look good. So there's those red engines at the back. And just there is the little LED. And there's a video. Let me see if I can get the video where they're taking off all the panels and stuff. Is that playing? Two seconds. There we go. Yeah, see, look, there's those little bags I was talking about where he's hanging them on the thing. So some of them look like they're molded on, and then others are separate, hanging down, which is pretty cool. There's that little LED lit. So there you go. Catabellion, what is your favorite vintage collection repack? Oh, what, something that actually came out in the vintage collection before, not something from another line? Because if there's something that came from another line, it'd probably be the Leia Bouche. I think that's a car back that we needed really badly. But if it's something from another actual vintage, maybe Leia Hoth. I think they did, updated the face pretty well on her. DreamHack, Tim, how are you, man? What's new with you? I'm good, thanks, mate. What's new? Nothing much, really. Not a lot going on, really. Seeing the new Hot Toys Death Watch Mando from the show, really want that. And oh, mate, that would be, I mean, how many of those would they sell? I mean, I think everyone would want 3 or 4 or 5 of those in their collection, wouldn't they? If it's something special, it's possible to get over 15,000. I hope so. I hope so. Lotus Apocus. Do you think people who missed out on the barge should finally get it now on the secondary market? Or do you honestly see Hasbro re-releasing it? Need your honest opinion. My honest opinion is that they will not re-release the barge, especially when they're trying to get people to back the Razor Crest. You're talking about a crowd-funded project, which is like, you keep hearing them say it, don't you? This is the only way that you can get it, blah, 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 blah. You've got to back it now if you want it. He said it again today. He did say that there's no current plans to re-release the Razor Crest or whatever, but, you've got to back it now. You've got to get it. And it's the same with the barge. 10 years time, maybe, and they say, let's revisit the barge. Do you remember when we did that amazing project? Wasn't that fabulous? Now you've got another chance to get it. Isn't this brilliant? Maybe. Will it happen in the next couple of years? I honestly don't think it will. It'll just if they want to do more Haslabs, I can't see it happening. It's just, it'll undermine the whole model of a crowd-funded project, which is supposed to be, back it and you get it. If you don't, you don't, sort of thing. So that's my honest opinion. I know there's other people out there that think it will get re-released or whatever, but and it may well do, but I personally don't think it will. I like how they explained why the escape capsule was chosen to be the first tier. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And he mentioned that it would have just been molded in, didn't he? Which, I don't know, that's still seems a bit of a cop-out to me. I think it's like, if you're going to include an escape pod that doesn't actually escape, that sounds a bit weird to me. But yeah. My father used to watch Rebels, and his favourite was Kanan, but he never finished Rebels because of Chopper and Ezra. But when I finished Rebels and told him about Kanan died, he was shocked. Yep, spoiler alert if anyone hasn't seen Rebels. Did anyone else catch the loophole that Patrick said when he said there was no current plans to have the Crest relay? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's no current plans, but you know, it opens it to, you know, them saying it will never happen, because then you'll just pull him up on it, won't it? But you know, is it going to happen in the next 5 years? No, because this is your chance to get it now, isn't it? I'd like the Rebel medical frigate as a Haslab project. Can you imagine how long it'd be? Well, if it's in scale of anything else they've done, it'll be like the size of my house. So, but it would look cool, and it'd look cool in Lego as well if they did a big Lego one. I know a lot of people want that in Lego. I feel like I'm in a Zoom class right now. Zoom. Are you talking about Zoom for like work and stuff, where you use it to communicate with people? I'd love to see that. Let's hope they use the right paints. Yep. Razor Crest would be nice if it had a button to play the intro theme song. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Is that an LED or a button? It looks like a little LED, but yeah, it could be the button to switch on the lights. But to me, it just looked like, you know, your standard little red LED, and there's one on the other side as well. So, you know, if there's a switch, you just need one switch, right? And it'd wire it all the way around. Thanks, mate. Yeah. If it comes without light and sound effects, it's of no interest to me. It has to be like the new Falcon. That's fair enough if you want that. I think what people, you know, when the Falcon came out, toys were still toys. I think, you know, a lot of the things that come out these days are for us, the elder collectors, you know. And I'm not too disappointed that my barge hasn't got lights and sounds. It just sits there and I look at it. I don't really play with it. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to, but I don't. So I just like it sitting there looking cool. Maybe some lights would have been cool. I've seen some people done some interesting stuff with the lights for the inside and stuff, but I wasn't too disappointed that it didn't have that. I think the way we get the Rebels and TVC now will be from them appearing in future episode of the Mando, so it'll be based on the actor's dress. Yeah, that's possibly. Ray Hines, honestly, Tim, your live stream has been way better and more informative than Hasbro. Sometimes when watching Hasbro, I feel like I'm watching a politician speak. Yeah, well, they do have to, you know, toe the line, don't they? They can't really say what they really feel and think, can you? Can they? You know, it's you know, whereas I say what I say, you know. I can't see an LED. Am I blind? I'm going to play it again for you, Daniel. All right, and then you can see it. I think it might be. There we go. Right. Let me just share my screen again quickly, and then I'll just point it out to you. So I've paused the video. So just there, that's a little red hanging down LED there. So just there, if you can see it. Just see it hanging down there. Soft goods cape on the Mando, which is awesome. There's the LED again, just under the engine there. So that'd be cool. Are you missing any vintage? Are you missing any figures since the return of the vintage collection? No, I've got them all from when it came out, re-released in 2018. I Still need a couple from the original run because I don't have some of the expanded universe figures. Wasn't really overly bothered about getting those when I started to try and get the whole lot. It's more interested in getting some of the core characters first, but I probably will get them. But I've got no room on my walls to have them, so it's just not that important to me. Brian Rios, thank you, my friend, for the $5. Hey, boss, just wanted to say I enjoy the content. Thanks for being a positive presence. Thank you, mate, and thank you for being on the live stream. Whoever's on this live stream, please drop a thumbs up. Really helps. And again, thank you for the super chat, mate. Very generous. Thank you so much. Hi, Tim. The child for the Razor Crest is on the Vintage Collection card. As for the Mandalorian soft goods, is it on a Vintage Collection card? I don't think it is. We haven't been shown it. I think it might just be a pack-in. It'd be awesome if it was on a card, though. Oh, and also, I just want to make something clear about the barge being re-released. When I say that I don't think it will be re-released, that doesn't mean I don't want it to be re-released. I mean, I would love. I couldn't give a monkeys about the value of it. It just sits there. I'm not going to sell it. I would love everyone the opportunity to get the barge again. If it got re-released, then fantastic. That'd be awesome for everyone, as long as it was available to the whole world. I think it really was poor the first time when it was only available to the US. And then, people kicked up so much of a stink that 500 or 800 or whatever it was got available to the rest of the world on eBay, and we all had to scramble around for them. That's not a nice thing to go through. Will I get one of these things? So yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not against it. I'd love everyone that wants one to get one. I think it's too great of a ship like the barge to not be re-released, but I don't think it will have the quality of special figures, and it won't be re-released in my lifetime. Exactly. I think, it will, it could be re-released, the Razor Crest, in 10 years time or whatever, but it might be dumbed down. They might take some of the intricate details out of it, or whether to get it out in stores or whatever. But from what I understand, it's too expensive to be in stores anyway. I was listening to Chris from Bantha Skull on a video on the Vintage Collection Facebook group, and he was saying that stores in the US don't like to carry vehicles or have vehicles in their stores for Star Wars that are over about $100. And if you look at all the vehicles that have come out for the Vintage Collection, except for the Falcon, now remember the Falcon was supposed to be a Disney Parks exclusive. I think it only ended up in Target because of the pandemic. There's nobody at the parks to buy it, so they had to get it out. So they struck a deal with Target, and it was available on Target online. A few of them seeped out into the stores, but ultimately, normally your Vintage Collection vehicles are never more than about $100, $110, are they? So I think if they were ever to do a Razor Crest, it'd have to be of that price range for the stores. I'm driving and listening to the cast. They have announced a third. Have they announced a third unlock? They've announced that they'll be announcing it next week. That's all they've done. The wings pop off, so maybe it does need 2 buttons. Yeah, that's a possibility. I would love a Rebel briefing room playset and more figures like raking with the console and screen. Yeah, I certainly would as well. Why is the Razor Crest so expensive? Because it's huge, and it's obviously taken a lot of designing and detail and stuff to go into this. Look at the detail and intricacy of it. I think anyone can say that something's too expensive, but if you think about the Falcon, it's as wide as the Falcon. I don't think it's as long, but with the wingspan, it's as wide as the Falcon. Okay, it hasn't got lights and sounds, or we don't know that it's got lights and sounds, but it's extremely detailed. And 350, It's a lot of money. I must, you know, it is expensive, but I don't think you could ask for something like that to be like $150, for example. I just don't think it's doable in this day and age. But I found it interesting. Patrick said they're adding orders from third-party retailers into the official counter, which was something I don't think they've done with previous Haslabs. I'm not sure if they did it with the Sentinel or not. I mean, I think the Sentinel was the first Haslab to be available in other countries. So we've got Zavi over here, which have obviously partnered with Hasbro. So the counter on Zavi is lower than what's on Hasbro Pulse. So they line up eventually, you know. So, you know, I think he said every time they hit a certain number, then they add them. Why they can't just have them exactly the same, I don't know. I can see the Carbonites being lost individually on card together with the unfrozen character and the blister like the old mate, Buddy Hepburn. If they did, that's the utopia, isn't it? That's what we want. Will Hasbro do that? That's what you got to ask. Will they do that? The Han Solo and Carbonite was a repacked Black Series figure, and it came in a playset that you had to buy. Are we going to actually see Vintage Collection carded figures with a Carbonite block and for the same price as a normal figure? I hope so, mate. I really do. Wonder if Haslab Death Star is a completely realistic idea, if possible. Depends, really, doesn't it? Depends how much of it you want to cover, what scenes and stuff. Hope you're right, Tim. The Razor Crest should be dirty wash for sure. It'll be slightly disappointed if it's gleaming. Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be beat up, hasn't it? It can't just be this brand new looking thing. Yep, you see it. Good. So I'm just catching up with the comments here. I do apologize. There's so many to go through. Can you see any shots of the other engine to see if the red LED? It is on the other side. Yeah, they do a spin of it, and it is there. Yeah. I think that's a button. Why would they have a light there? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be a button, but then it sticks out a little bit too much, doesn't it? And what if it was a button? Wouldn't it be like a little black thing like the Falcon has to keep it hidden? It really does sort of stick out as if it's like a downward facing light, as if it's, you know, maybe when it's coming into land or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with that. I mean, it might just be on the prototype model. We might not even be getting any electronics in it at all. Who knows? Right. Would you be willing to sacrifice the quality of the Vintage Collection figures for more figs quality of, say, the 30th anniversary as a main line? I feel that the new stuff is hardly toys these days. So I think some of the 30th anniversary figures are almost there anyway. I think apart from maybe just better techniques with the facial sculpts, you know, some of them had swivel elbows, but now they've got ball jointed elbows. I mean, now you've got those. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that the Vintage Collection is too far away from the 30th anniversary. And if you think about the 5POA stuff, anyway, that's over it's a tenner a figure or £13 a figure. So you got it's $12.99 for a TVC figure over here, and it's $9.99 for a 5POA. I'd rather pay the extra £2, you know, the extra £3, if I'm honest, because you get the card back as well. Do you think the tail lift at the back of the crest may be electronic like the Falcon? That would be awesome. Maybe. Right now I doubt it, but we'll have to wait and see what they come up with. To me, it seems weird that they sort of, you know, if it was going to have something like that, that'd be a massive selling point. So tell us it's got that now. So that makes me feel that it probably won't. But again, they haven't mentioned the lights, have they? And they kind of look like they're there. So yeah, so the Death, yeah, this is it about the Death Star. I was like, you know, which bit, you know, the moving movements, how many of them would you do? You know, hangar, you know, there's just so many. You've got the hangar area where Obi-Wan fights with Vader. You've got briefing room. Loads of things you could do for the Death Star. A year to wait, it's going to be painful wait. Yeah, it is. But there'll be plenty of vintage collection stuff coming out in between. Don't you worry about that. With the Tanty 4, they should have gave us the whole ship. Not for $40, they wouldn't give you it, but I quite like that playset. I think that's cool. I think that's the perfect thing to have on a shelf because it can back right up against the wall. I don't need two of them. I'm just going to have it on a shelf, you know, with the figures Vader at one end and the stormtroopers and a few rebel troopers at the other. That's all I need. I don't need to look down it or from above it, or that's it for me. Just on a shelf, I think it'll look cool. And I think someone said a good thing about that. They said this is the sort of thing that collectors have been building themselves and wanting an official company to make for ages. And then as soon as they do make it, everyone moans about it, saying it's just a corridor. But for me, I think that'll look cool on the wall, you know, on a shelf against the wall. I think it'll look great. Who would love a Tantive 1V the size of the barge? Tantive 4. Yeah, that would be cool. There's no doubt about it. The ship itself would be awesome. Can you still buy the barge on Hasbro Pulse? Nope. It was a crowdfunded project, just like Haslab, just like the Razor Crest, and it finished in 2018, and then everyone got it on the early 2019, I think, if I remember rightly. Have you space in your room for not at the moment? No. I'm gonna have to move something, aren't I? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll have to rearrange it a little bit. Yeah, put up a shelf or something and put it on there. I don't know. It's going to be difficult with the things. I mean, that's might be a good thing that one of them comes off, because then you could maybe, you know, have it on a shelf with one of the engines off. It's a bit like the Republic gunships. I know people that have like split those in half and like put half of it on the wall with all the figures sort of coming out of it and stuff. It's a damn joke. The Legacy Falcon was 150. Now it's 350. Hasbro's crazy. Yeah, it's inflation and everything else for you. But yeah, it is overpriced, Falcon. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. The Falcon should be re-released for each film anniversary with a different sound chip relating to the corresponding film. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think it's a great price. I think we all lucked out. For the Razor Crest, you mean, mate? People, a figure scale Death Star is not possible to reproduce, and why would you pay $50 for it? The economy would crash. Do you think we'll ever get a realistic version of all Clone Wars characters? I think they'll do more of the clones because they've got that mold now. Why they didn't use it for Rex, I will never know. That's the biggest cop-out ever, in my opinion. But then again, I've seen other people's videos that have, you know, with the news, you know, we're getting that awesome Rex on this awesome card back. No, we're not. We're getting this awful Rex on this all right card back. You know, but now they've got the, you know, the 3-pack clones. These guys, you know, there's no reason why they can't give us other clones using that or parts of that. You don't have to have the same pauldrons and whatever, but the body, decent body. I do wish they had soft good Karma though, because the legs get a bit restricted. Bit of a shame that, but I'm curious to put the Razor Crest side by side with my Legacy Falcon. Will the Falcon look out of scale? Yeah, probably will. Probably will. Both engines and lights on the wings of the Razor Crest seems to be made of translucent material. Any chance of electronics to be added as a surprise? Yeah, we hope so, yeah. You're a real great host, Bossk. Thank you, mate. I'm trying. I like a diorama of the Rebel briefing. The video is on my channel. Daniel Chart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen it. The Legacy Fog isn't correct scale anyways. No. You know, sometimes you can't. It's the same with Lego when they say, oh, it's got to be minifigure scale in Lego, you know. Some of these ships would be absolutely huge if you made them scale with a 3.75-inch figure. It'd just be silly. Do you think they will show the paint app or intention before closing? It needs to be vac-metallized, surely. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to remember how quickly we saw the barge painted, because we definitely didn't see it at the beginning. I'm not sure. What is it? The 9th? So it's about 4 weeks away, isn't it? 4 weeks to give us a painted version of it. I don't know. I hope so. I think it would pull a lot more people in. I think a lot of people are waiting to see what the paint scheme's going to be before they sort of drop their money on it. You can spend 100 quid on a great night out in the UK these days. So I think the price is just about there for a collector piece. That's right. Go to the pub, £100 night, easy. Not just the pub. If you go out, you know what I mean. If you go out on a bit of a proper night out, £100, you'll walk through that. Which are your favourite Lego Star Wars sets? Lego sets, not just Star Wars. I've got the Stranger Things house. Love that. That's awesome. I've got the Mini Cooper. Like that one as well. And I might even have the Scooby-Doo camper van, or whatever it's called, the Mystery Machine. I've got that. I think the Death Star is going to happen. It's just when. I think the ship has the flashing lights, much like aircraft do on each wing. Yeah, that's what I think. You know, when it comes into land, they'll be there. Hopefully. God bless you, Tim. God bless you, Rod. Lots of talk about a Death Star, and everyone wants that, it seems. Saying hello from California, San Diego. Awesome channel. Keep it coming. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, my friend. Boss, do you have a spare VC42 Han Yavin ceremony you want to sell? It's doing my head in trying to find it without buying from the US. I don't, I'm afraid, mate. That was one of the last ones that I got, actually. I picked that up from Echo Base in Redditch. I think I got it for £20 as well. Absolute bargain. So I was really happy with that. But yeah, you'll find it. That one comes up every now and then. You'll find that one. Based on the Mandalorian teaser, the Razor Crest won't make it in season 3. Yeah, I think they just want you to think that, though, don't they? I think Disney Hasbro totally underestimated the success of the Mandalorian for sure. Yeah, I don't think they underestimated it. I just think that they were cautious of not being burnt with essentially what's happened with previous films. Last Jedi, it rocked it, didn't it? You got Solo was really badly affected, and so were the figures. And I think I've said this before in videos and stuff, and live streams maybe. I think it became a bit of a risk for Hasbro to sort of just pump out 30 different figures for a new film or a new TV show all at once, because if it bombs, that's it, over. Now they know it's a success, and they know that season 3 is being planned or written. Season 2 is coming end of the month. Season 1 was a huge hit. That, it's no longer a risk. They can just pump everything out now, and we'll lap it up. Hi Tim, seeing all the pieces of the Razor Crest that can be taken off. I hope it's fitting tight enough, such as when I'm flying it, the pieces don't come off in flight. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think, well, that's the thing with the barge. The barge is, again, it's a Haslab thing. The barge is very well put together. The side panels are actually quite difficult to get off and to clip back on. Once they're on, they're very difficult to clip off. Now I have mine off like that so you can see inside, but to get them back on, they are a tight fit. So let's hope you're right, and they are like that as well for the crest. Hello, Bossk, for everyone. Yes, I've pre-ordered the huge Razor Crest. I'm a fan of the ship, but I also have liked Haslab to offer the builder Ghost because there was already the Phantom. Yeah, the Phantom came out in the 3.75 inch line, didn't it? I think it did. Would you be willing to have a Haslab funding program for completely new figures? If so, what would be the max price point per figure for you? I wouldn't want them to do figures. I think figures is just a standard given. You should get the figures, but as I mentioned earlier, I think when they talk about Haslab, it doesn't have to be this massive thing that's going to cost loads of money. It could be a figure. I mean, it probably won't be because they probably won't bother for something such a small price point, but it could be just like a figure, that's, I don't know, £50 or something. It's highly detailed, does this, that, and the other, comes with all these extra bits, and it's not something that they could sell in the normal way. So, but no, I would stop short of the figures. I want the figures just in the line anyway. And then also you've got the whole, VC numbers and all that, and people will be annoyed because they're missing a figure from the line and all that kind of stuff. I think the figure should just be a given. Will the Razor Crest be available in December 2000? It's going to be ready apparently October 21. That's what I heard. Is little Bossk excited after seeing the Razor Crest today? Yep, he's mega excited. He wants one. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Do I buy an extra one now, thinking he'll be 8 next Christmas? Is he still going to want it then? It's like a big thing to sort of pay for when he might just sort of be into football or something more and not really bothered about Star Wars. I don't know. It's a difficult one, but yeah, at the moment he's really excited. But he's more concerned about his barge. He wants not the barge, the skiff. He's got all his Jabba's figures and he wants another skiff. So he's already got a skiff, but he wants another one because he wants to do the scene around the Sarlacc pit. So nightmare. Jeff, there you go, mate. How do you feel about crowdfund on groups of figures such as movie groups, 10 to 15? Yeah, that's potentially something that they could do, groups maybe. But again, I just think that the figures need to be, they should be producing those anyway. I think we're going into some dangerous territory if they start saying, you can only have these 10 figures from X if you crowdfund it. I wouldn't really want to get into that, to be honest. But it's good to see you, Jeff, mate. Good to see you on the stream. I can see an expansion into the living room for you to try and fit the crest in there, Tim. Yeah. Mrs. won't like that, though, will she? My wife asked me, where are you going to put the Razor Crest? And I said, I'll worry about that after I get it. Yeah, just whatever. We'll come to that when it arrives. You don't need to think about that now. Do you want me to look after the barge for you, Bossk? Clear some space. Happy to help out. No, you're all right, mate. That's like the centerpiece, isn't it? I mean, God, I love that thing. Do I love it more than my vintage Vulcan, though? Probably not. Where in the world are all the vintage collection vehicles? We desperately need some cheaper vehicles. Yeah, we do. And as I said, I think they only do like 2 a year. That's what it seems to be recently, doesn't it? 2 vehicles a year. What did we get this year? We got the troop transport. Ooh, did we get the ATST this year? Or was that the back end of last year? I can't even remember now. Obviously, we've had the re-release of the Falcon. Zach Walker. Hey, Bossk. I can't stay long, loving the stream. My Clone Commander Wolf and Power Droid arrived, and they are great. Thanks so much for your advice. Hopefully the start of a large collection. 2 good figures to start you off there, mate, especially the Power Droid. I love that one. It's a really great release, that one. Just watch a clip of the Razor Crest where he's being chased by the bounty hunter. You can see the lights on it, exactly where the LEDs are on the model. There you go. Invest, Hugo, invest the time. Tim has 30 plus years collecting. You said you're 10. Oh, is he only 10, is he? And he's on the stream. Blimey. Past your bedtime, young man. I'm lost where I am. There's too many comments. Where am I? How much are you looking forward to season 2 of The Mandalorian? Is it a mistake to include Boba Fett in it? I think he should have been left out. I think The Mandalorian show was like, it's almost like the Boba Fett show, isn't it? But without Boba Fett being in it. So it's a way of sort of giving us that Mando character that we all love. I don't know. I don't want them to start filling it with loads of characters that we already have seen in other places. If there's a cameo, flashback, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that they'll nail it, whatever they do. I think it's in safe hands, hopefully. Hopefully they don't cock it up. Hundreds of pounds in a night. What are you drinking? I once part of the RAF when they were training with my squadron here in the States. I have not had gin since. Yeah, it's $5.50 a pint over here. It's a lot. And then you got taxis, a bit of munch afterwards. I think they were painted similar to the Hasbro Episode 1 Naboo starship with weathering for carbon, scoring, and grime. Yeah, they could do. Could do. But a lot of people want that starship shinier, don't they? Because that is like the shiniest of shiniest ships. Not counting the Vintage Collection Bossk, what is your favourite TVC? Ooh, I do like VC44, which is the Dagobah Landing Luke, and this one. I always talk about this one. This one's coming. Some of you guys already have him. This is a great Luke Skywalker. It's got to be said. I love that. Can't wait to get that one. Should have that one in a couple of days' time, hopefully. But yeah, VC44 is a good one. Cody's a good figure. Yeah. Woof's a good one. Nice t-shirt. I hear that guy's a nice guy. Yeah, nice t-shirt, mate. Thank you. Haslab Salacious come puppet. How many here will be buying 2 or more? I'm going back for a second one for sure. How many Haslabs do you see in the future? Probably be 2 or 3 a year, but not always Star Wars. Next Star Wars one, maybe another year and a half, I think. Are you excited for the Incinerator Trooper Vintage Collection? Will you have a review soon? Yeah, it's not out yet. I hope to get it as soon as it comes out, and I'll definitely review it. And yep, I'm really excited about it. I love that Stormtrooper mold from the Rogue One Stormtrooper, and I think they've done a really good job with that. Incinerator Trooper looks really good. David McFadden, here comes a thumbs up from Canada. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you on here. That's your original Falcon 2, isn't it, mate? Didn't you say your brother got it? The collection is all about the memories. Yeah, it is. I got it for Christmas when I was like 6 or 7, and I've had it ever since. I've even got the box for it, but it's in the loft, and it's in a bad way. The box is not worth displaying. It's in a bad way, but I still got it. So yeah, It is all about memories. You're right. Would still love to see the Sandcrawler for Haslab. Yeah, definitely, I would. It's Sandcrawler's got Haslab written all over it. Imagine if you think about all these removable panels and stuff they're doing for the crest. You know, imagine that with a Sandcrawler. You know, they could do some amazing things with the Sandcrawler. Is that a tattoo on the arm? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yakface got the VC number as VC000. What do you think? They'll give the child. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Here's one for you. How about VC0001? VC001. I don't know. The promotional ones, they did like the rocket firing FET and the two that came in the Bounty Hunter set. They were VCP, right? 01 and 02, 03. Maybe they'll start to do something similar to that. Do you think there's a chance they redo Captain Rex using base Captain Ford? Mate, I wish. It's too late for that Rex figure. That is coming. That'll be in some warehouse already. That's not being. They're not going to pull that. It's too late. Will they do a new one in the future? I think, you know, we need to cause a bit of a stink on that and get a proper figure done. I just don't understand why they didn't use the, you know, the one of this, because you've already got the mold. I don't really understand why you don't use it. It seems bizarre. But then I guess it's just the cheap, you know, it's just a way of repacking a figure, isn't it? And just getting him out there. It's not on, really. Luis Escalante, hi, my friend. Hi, Bossk. What are your favourite prequel Vintage Collection figures? Prequel. Yeah, so Cody. I like the clone. I like the clone. I like, you know, the Phase 2 clones. So I like the 5.0, even though the helmet's a bit big. I like the 5.0 first clone. I like Gree. I like Cody. Magna Guard. Great figure. Magna Guard. Django Fett's not too bad. Zam Vessel, is that her name? Yeah, she's a good figure. Yeah, there's a few there for you. Rod C, how can I buy the Razor Crest in Mexico? I don't know, mate. I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Do you have Trandoshan blood? Maybe. For mana characters released already in the Black Series, do you think the TVC will get new molds or scaled down treatment? So I think they talked about this at some point. I can't remember exactly when, but when you get a smaller figure of a Black Series figure, they don't just scale it down. Sometimes they might be able to do that, but often they said that the articulation works differently, the scale of the art, some, you know, the joints can be a bit different and things like that. And because of that, it puts the whole scale of the figure out slightly. So they can't just get the mold of the Black Series and then make it smaller. They have to essentially design and sculpt a whole new figure. No, not all Black Series figures will be out in the Vintage Collection. So, for example, you know, we've got a different Knight of Ren, haven't we, to the Black Series. Now, will we get that one? Will the Black Series get our one? It's probably a bit late now, isn't it? That ship sailed, isn't it? The sequel trilogy. They've got other logs in the fire. In the early 80s, I traded most of my Kenner figures for He-Man and G.I. Joe, but spending the last 20 years trying to recollect it all, what a dumb kid I was. Yeah, but mind you, some of the G.I. Joe and He-Man's quite expensive, isn't it? The original stuff. So, but yeah, it's a mistake. It's a mistake, that one. You need to have a friend in the US to get yourself a Razor Crest. Yeah, okay. Darth Sidious VC79 is pretty good too. Is he the one with the plastic hood? Not sure about that one. Are you a Black Series collector? Do you just cherry pick? I just cherry pick. So as I showed earlier, I've got this one. I've got all of the Rebels ones because they look all good together. The new boxes, I'm pretty much getting all of these, but I think I'm going to whittle it down to maybe just the Mandalorian and Clone Wars and original trilogy. I might not get all the others like the prequels and the anything else that comes out, you know. Although I do like clones. That's the problem, isn't it? They get you, don't they, with those boxes? But I'm not going to open them. They're, for me, they're like a carded box collector of those. Vintage Collection will get opened, but also one will be for the wall as well. Does this mean the Cloth Cape Mando will have VC number even if loose? Probably not. Not if he's carded, he won't have a VC number. No, it'd be like the Clatuinian that came with the ATST Raider. Love the Vintage Collection. ERG. Yeah, he is a great figure. Yeah. The US Haslab Direct won't ship to Mexico, nor will Zavvi for the UK side of things, I'm afraid. I've not heard of anything from Mexico. No, I've not heard anything from Mexico, but obviously at one point the Australia and New Zealand were left out as well. But then I don't know who is doing it for those guys, but a retailer over there is joining forces with Hasbro to get that out there in those countries. So yeah, it seems a shame, doesn't it? South America, Mexico, you're right there, aren't you? I mean, seems a bit of an odd one, doesn't it? But what was the first modern toy you picked up since '95? Probably the Power of the Force. I bought loads of those at the time. Don't have many of them now. Sold them all. Still got Bossk. Might have a Fett somewhere in the loft, but yeah, probably Power of the Force. Power of the Force 2. The green, well, the orange ones, then the green ones. Blake Attrill, thanks for being a great source of entertainment. Thank you for being on the, in the audience, if you like. Without you guys, I'd just be talking to myself. So thank you. Still on the fence, removable panels. Chris, mate, just get on it. You know you want one. You want one. If you were deserted on a desert island, what 3 Star Wars toys would you take? I'll take my Falcon. I would take one of my vintage Bosks. And I would take I was going to say Barge, or would I now take my Canadian Yoda? Sorry, I just wanted to show you that. I don't know. Probably the Barge. Everyone should have a chance to enjoy these toys. There's no joy like a toy. Wow, your appearance is not what I imagine. I've done live streams before, mate. This isn't the first time I've shown my face. Loads of times, actually. So, yeah. No one ever looks like how they sound, do they? I always find that. Do you think I'm dreaming that there will ever be any more the Rise of Skywalker? No, there will be. It just won't be in the next however long, because they've just got other things to concentrate, haven't they? But they'll drop them in here and there. It's like the Black Series, the Black Series hasn't had any for ages, and then they announced the Dark Ray figure. So you will get them. It's just don't expect like 6 in a go. Perhaps tier 3 could be the electronics. Yeah, that might be a good thing. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Haslab VC turbo tank from Revenge of the Sith? Properly scaled. I would love that. That's a great, for something out of the prequels or the Clone Wars. That'd be awesome. I love the clone turbo tank. Good idea, my friend. Thanks then for all you do. I'm a little disappointed that there's only going to be one more unlock for the Razor Crest. I thought we were going to get some figures in carbonite blocks. So he said at least one more. So, you know, if they put it at 12,000, we hit that pretty quick. You could probably say that there might be another one. So let's hope, eh? Just a rough guess, how many of the VC collection are you missing? Figures only. I think you look like the rest of us. Cool, just cool. Just a rough guess, how many of the vintage collections are you missing? I'm probably missing about 5 or 6, something like that. A couple of them are really expensive, you know, like Ahsoka, for example. I don't have her carded. But it's just not one that I've really sort of... I've always had her in the Black Series 3.75, the loose figure. And it was one that was sort of like, while I was getting all the others, it's just like, oh, I'll wait to get that one. And then she just went up in so much money that I thought I'm never going to get it now. So I just didn't bother. But I'll get it one day somehow. I'm getting the green light from the boss. I'm just waiting for that one thing to make it a must. Could be the paint finish, yeah. IGN 11 and Quill for the VC. Hope so. I think those two are inevitable next year. We're definitely going to get those next year without a doubt. Bossk can be chief panel fitter on the crest. He will be. Oh my God, he will be. Do you know when we get announcements for the next wave of vintage collection? They're all Mandalorian figures. So you got Moff Gideon, Beskar Mandalorian, and the Armorer. So they'll be on the Mando Mondays, essentially. Anyway, guys, I've done an hour and a half. It's 10 o'clock. It's been really, really good to see you all on here today. Just want to say the Ask Bossk Bounty video on Sunday, that will have the result of the giveaway. If you haven't entered the giveaway, then you need to go and watch Ask Bossk Bounty episode 47 from a couple of weeks ago, where I talk about the giveaway in there. And you just need to leave a comment in that video, and then you'll be automatically entered so long as you subscribe to the channel. If anyone's watching that's not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe. Enter the giveaway, and I'll be drawing it and showing who wins it using like a random comment generator on Sunday's Ask Bossk Bounty video. So make sure you tune in for that, see if you have won, and good luck to all. It's a Black Series figure from the Big Bad Toy Store. Make sure you check out the Big Bad Toy Store. And that's it, guys. I think I'm done for today. It's 10 o'clock, so I've done an hour and a half. But thank you, guys, for tuning in. And hopefully I'll do another live stream soon. It's been awesome, awesome seeing you all here today. And, yeah, subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next one.